When was it that you first got that little, fire lit inside of you that maybe you wanted to be a doctor? You mentioned that you had maybe had it when you first went to college, but then you ended up having children and deferring that dream.
It was earlier. When I was young, there was a show on TV called Little House on the Prairie, and there was a doctor there in the small town that was set in like the turn of the century that
Hmm.
everybody would come to, and he would have all of the answers and be able to help people. And so I just
Uh-huh.
thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to be. I want to be someone who knows what's wrong. I always had the
Uh-huh.
curiosity when people got sick, like, oh, I wonder what's wrong. And so I
Right.
thought that's what I wanted to do. I also had a really good pediatrician growing up. And I always thought, oh, I wonder if I could do what she does. She was a really good
Uh-huh.
role model growing up for me as well.
Did you struggle to find mentors that looked like you, or did you ever get discouraged by the lack of representation?
Definitely. It's hard to find people who look and think and were raised like you in medicine.
Hmm.
And so when I went back to East LA College, I felt like I was immersed in my community. And that's why the encouragement meant so much because it was understandable what was going to happen if I became a doctor and I could come back to East LA and help the
Uh-huh.
Latino community. And when I was at East LA College, there was a mentoring group that came from a local medical school, and it was their chapter of Latino Medical Student Association. And they took us bowling, and I went out with them, and they were just like me. They brought their kids, and there's all kinds of toddlers at the bowling alley, and
Uh-huh.
there was music, and people were speaking Spanglish, and it felt like these people are just like me, and they're in medical school. And that's probably one of the first times that I felt like I could see myself in medical school.
At what point during medical school, I assume, did you decide that emergency medicine was what you wanted to pursue?
I had the idea that I wanted to be a pediatrician because I loved my own pediatrician. And then when I was a teacher, I was working with kids. And so a lot of the signs pointed to pediatrics. But when I went to do my pediatric clerkship in third year, that's where in third year you take several weeks to explore each of the major specialties. So I did pediatrics for 8 weeks, and I found that I was working a lot more with parents than I remembered in teaching. But in pediatrics, you're working a lot with the parents and sometimes reassuring them. And it was just different from what I expected. But when I went to emergency medicine, I still was able to see children that came into the emergency department. And so that's what drew
Uh-huh.
me to emergency medicine is the ability to work with adults and kids and the ability to work with those vulnerable, underserved populations.